Too bad I didn't have time to look into, anything about potentially, who your wife cheated with. But don't try to go down that line of questioning with me, all right? Because
I
I'm
mean,
not
I'm
doing any political
I'm not
gesturing.
married, Clev.
Women are not attracted to a man's personality. Period. I repeat, women are not attracted to a man's personality. Everybody wants to act like, oh, if you just have confidence and you make her laugh, it doesn't even matter what you look like. Okay, that's retarded. Women like attractive guys that can make them laugh. That's the part y'all are ignoring. Women like confident guys that are attractive. Being good looking is the part they're attracted to, not the confidence and not the sense of humor. I guarantee 99% of women that meet Henry Cavill probably end up telling everyone they know, like, oh my God, I didn't realize he was so funny. He's got a great sense of humor. He's just hilarious. Because that's the halo effect. Women think that attractive guys are funny, even if they're not. It's the same for confidence. But it's useless to tell a guy to work on his confidence anyways. Confidence is just a function of how you get treated in life. If people treat you like you're a frickin' philosopher king with a 9-inch scepter, then you're naturally gonna have a lot of confidence. Because what is confidence? Confidence is just the state of expecting that things will go your way. That's all confidence is. If you're ugly as shit and people treat you like you're a disgusting monster and everybody always makes it clear they don't want you around, then how the hell are you supposed to expect that things will go your way? You can't have confidence if you don't have the lived experience of positive things happening in your life more often than not. When people say you need to be more confident, they might as well be saying, bro, all you need to do is get treated better. Which is like, yeah, duh. I would love to get treated better, but I'm not good looking, and I'm a man. I am a bald, middle-aged man. Do you understand what it's like going around as a bald, middle-aged man? I think a lot of young people, especially young women, they truly do not realize how it is. They think the way they get treated everywhere they go is the same for everyone. Look, if a 22-year-old girl has her car break down on the side of the interstate, she'll have someone pulling over to help her before she can even get all the way out the car. If my car breaks down in the middle of the interstate, I'm strutting my ass all the way to the next truck stop with not a single damn person even considering pulling over.
You're gonna get out and strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass.
People will even drive by thinking to themselves like, look at this fucking guy. Who does he think he is walking here? Some of y'all might remember a while back there was a news story going around about a worker at an Amazon warehouse that dropped dead on the warehouse floor in the middle of work. Then people just kept working around him, stepping over the body and everything. You want to take a guess at what that person looked like? What that person's demographic was? It was a middle-aged man. Of course it was. I bet he was bald too. I don't know for sure, but I bet he was. I promise you, if a young woman died in the middle of the Amazon warehouse, they'd probably shut the whole site down for the day for a moment of silence. Talking about they'd shut down the whole site. https://amazon.com. The whole damn site shut down. How could we possibly sell products at a time like this? But when it's a middle-aged man who's probably bald, nobody cares at all. People are stepping over the body on the way to the vending machines. That's just how it is. Fellas, I'm telling you, all this talk about confidence and working on your game, working on your personality, I don't know if it's always gaslighting. I'm sure some of these folks mean well, but that shit is not good advice. It hardly even counts as advice. Because what even is the prescription for working on your personality? How do you practice having a better personality? This isn't The Sims. You can't just stand in front of a mirror yapping to yourself and just watch as your charisma meter fills up and you level up your skill. Obviously, I know if you try chatting to random people all day, you probably will get a little bit better at making small talk, but you're not going to improve by much. And none of that improvement is going to translate even a little bit towards making you more attractive to women. Fellas, if personality and sense of humor was what women were attracted to, then it wouldn't be Henry Cavill and Channing Tatum that women go bonkers over. If personality was what attracted women, then it would be Jonah Hill or Steve Buscemi they'd all be thirsting over. But that's not what we see, is it? Who do they thirst over? It's guys like Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pratt. And I know women will argue up and down like, but Chris Pratt is funny. He's hilarious. Yeah, you think that because his face makes you feel funny in your womb. Let a focus group of men watch a Chris Pratt interview and let's see how funny they think he is. Guys, look at Clavicular. Have y'all seen this clip of Clavicular walking out of the 60 Minutes interview? Let me play this clip and I want y'all to think, is this a guy with an attractive personality? Is this guy charming?
He shared company with Andrew Tate and other, dare I say, rather controversial figures.
Are you trying to, I see you want to make this political.
Not at all, not at all. I'm just curious.
I guess you watched the Piers interview.
I did, yeah.
Too bad I didn't have time to look into, anything about potentially, who your wife cheated with, but don't try to go down that line of questioning with me, all right? Because I'm not doing any political.
I'm not married, Clav.
To be clear, I'm not saying anything about the actual content of what Clavicular's saying in this clip, but the way he says it. He comes off completely autistic and inarticulate, like he's barely even able to string the thought together. He's barely even coherent. He's talking all slow like he can't think of what he even wants to say. He sounds like the verbal equivalent of when you get in a fight in your dream and your punches are all in slow motion. And yeah, this is probably him at his worst, but I've seen a few clips of the guy now, including clips where he's picking up girls, and this isn't too far off from how he usually sounds. But Clavicular still does well with the ladies. I'm sure some of these viral clips where Clavicular picks up a random chick after calling her retarded or whatever, I'm sure at least some of these clips are staged, probably most of them. But there's clips like from this stream where he walks around a party at ASU or whatever school it was, and you can just see everywhere he goes, girls are coming up to him. He's just asking girls if they want to hang out later that night, and they're all saying yes. I don't know. I think it's legit. And it's not his personality or his confidence that's pulling the floozies. You could argue, well, he's approaching these girls with confidence, and that's why he's so successful. Because, sure, yeah, it takes confidence to just walk up to a girl and say, hey, you want to hang out tonight? But don't even kid yourself. If Clavicular looked like me, none of those girls would be saying yes. He would get kicked out of the function after one approach. It's not his confidence they're attracted to. And if he was acting all timid and shy, do you really think he'd be any less successful? He would still pull even if he just stood against the wall and waited. He wouldn't pull as often, obviously, but still. Everything about Clavicular's personality and the way he talks to women is all exactly what normies say would be repulsive to women. But we can see that it doesn't matter. Personality and confidence, at best, are just a bonus. Being physically attractive is the one and only surefire way to consistently attract women. And that is real attraction, by the way. Don't let these normies gaslight you. Physical attraction is the purest form of attraction. I would even go as far to say as it's the only form of attraction. Obviously, women will find certain personality traits more or less attractive, but those are just modifiers on the attraction that's already there. So let's say confidence is a positive modifier. That doesn't mean an ugly guy can get with women just by being super confident. All it means is that for a guy that's already above a woman's minimum looks threshold, as in a guy that she's already attracted to, if he displays a high level of confidence, she will probably feel more attracted to him than she would have felt otherwise. But for a guy that's not very good looking, which includes most average guys, confidence isn't going to move the needle. It actually might make you more repulsive to women if you act confident when you're not good looking. Because think about it. You can use some other sense, like smell, for example, to make the analogy. What's worse? A guy that smells like crap just confidently getting in line at the bank, going around, getting all close to people like, yeah, I smell great. This is what a real man smells like. Take it in, everybody. That's what heaven smells like. Or would you rather come across a guy that smells like crap, but he's really apologetic about it, trying to keep his distance from people, and he's like, sorry, I don't want to be here. I didn't even want to leave the house. I know I smell bad. It's a medical issue. I'm so sorry, but I had to be here to get my mortgage loan approved. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about this. Like, obviously, nobody wants to be around anybody that stinks, no matter how apologetic they are. But if you had to choose, I'm sure you'd probably rather be around the guy that feels bad about it. You don't want to be around the guy that's confident about how bad he smells. Or at least you would hate the apologetic guy a lot less than you hate the confident guy. Everybody hates the guy that smells like shit but acts confident about it. And guess what? That's exactly how women see you when you're not good looking and you try to act confident. That's why I can't stand all the red pill dating advice like, just fake it till you make it, bro. Just fake it till you make it. Everybody's just drawn to a confident man. Red pill philosophy is a self-improvement grift. They have to sell you on those ideas like that you can improve your confidence as if that's even going to help anyways. Unless you're already good looking, getting more confident is just going to be drawing more attention to how repulsive you are. It will draw attention to you, but it's not in a good way. The way people often frame it in terms of giving advice is they'll say, well, sure, good-looking guys are naturally going to attract more women, but you got to work with what you got. You got to play the hand you were dealt. So if you've already looks-maxed, the best thing you can do is work on your confidence. Work on your game. Work on your personality. But the thing is, it's literally just futile to work on your personality as a means of attracting women. It just doesn't work. Being good-looking equals being attractive. And being good-looking is a pass-fail evaluation. Okay, it's binary. You're either good-looking or you're not. Having a better personality, whatever that means, confidence or game or whatever, it isn't going to make you pass the test. If you fail to meet a woman's minimum looks threshold, then you just fail. Period. No aspect of your personality is going to push you over the line. It's only even a bonus if you're already above the minimum looks threshold. But none of that even matters as far as confidence is concerned because confidence is not trainable. Confidence is just how much you believe in yourself. Even idiots tend to have a pretty good handle on whether or not women think they're good looking. By the time you're in your 20s, every man knows where they stand. You figure it out pretty quick from how you get treated by people. There are some guys that, for whatever reason, maybe they're just really autistic, they do have a high level of social confidence, even though they always get rejected. But the thing is, those guys just keep getting rejected. Never believe the bullshit when people say, it's a numbers game, bro. You just got to approach 1,000 women, and it's a sure thing that at least one of them will say yes. Like, it's really not. What's more likely to happen is you just get rejected 1,000 times. And like I said, when an ugly guy actually does act confident, even if it's true confidence that he really believes on a deep spiritual level, When an ugly man acts confident, it's just offensive to women. Women get offended when they get approached by a man that they think is beneath them. They get offended. And none of this coping with all the, well, it's better to be hated by a woman than for her to just be neutral towards you. Cope. Fucking cope. Go ahead and try approaching 1,000 women with confidence as an unattractive man. Do it. Try it. See what happens. All I can say is, I hope you get the top bunk. I really do. Because that's a good way to get your ass locked up for harassment. Now, let's talk about having a good sense of humor. Sense of humor is one of the biggest personality-based traits that everyone always says women just absolutely die for. But listen, just like confidence, having a good sense of humor is at best a bonus, but only if you're already good looking. If you're not good looking, then you just fail the test. Being funny is not going to get you the girl. That's not how it works. Let's look at some examples. Gabriel Iglesias, also known as Fluffy. This guy is one of the most successful stand-up comedians of all time. So regardless of what you personally think about him, it's just a fact that a lot of people think he is hilarious. So if sense of humor is so important in attracting women, Gabriel Iglesias should probably have a beautiful wife or a beautiful girlfriend, right? Well, here's a picture of his ex-wife, and here's a picture of a more recent girlfriend of his. Okay, so let's just think about this. He's got a great sense of humor. He's got the ultimate social validation. He's literally famous, and he's filthy rich. He's got multiple millions for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if his net worth was pushing 100 million. So just from the fame and money alone, you would expect him to be able to pull some quality tail. But he doesn't. His more recent girlfriend is, I'm not trying to insult her. She might be a very nice lady. But if sense of humor was so useful in attracting women, this is not a woman that Gabriel Iglesias would be dating. He's not just a regular guy with a great sense of humor. He's an internationally known stand-up comedian and actor with a multi-million-dollar net worth. But he's also very, very fat. He is below the minimum looks threshold. I guarantee this woman, even though she's not exactly beautiful herself, I guarantee she's only with him for the fame and the money. But even if you argue that it's his sense of humor that attracts these women, well, okay. Even then, it's not looking like a good sense of humor is really all that effective. Here's another example. Patton Oswalt. Very successful comedian and actor. And again, regardless of whether or not you think he's funny, most normies do think he's funny. He's earned millions upon millions of dollars in a career where sense of humor and personality is everything. Here's a picture of Patton Oswalt and his late wife. Again, no disrespect meant to this woman, but if personality mattered, do you really think a professional funny man would have been with this woman? Okay, now here's the most brutal example. Jim Norton. He's a famous comedian, podcaster, and radio host. He's built a very successful career off being the funniest guy in the room. That's his whole shtick. In the world of good personalities, Jim Norton has risen to the top. Now, here's a picture of Jim Norton and his, wife. Now, you could argue this is a choice that Jim has made. Maybe that's just his lifestyle. Fair enough, I guess, but somehow I doubt it. I think if he could do better, then he would. Here you have a guy that's highly successful in a personality-dominated field, and from the looks of it, he can't even get a woman at all. Okay, now, Ralphie May, another famous comedian. Rest in peace. No disrespect meant. Here's his wife. I guess she's not fat, at least. Okay, I think you get the point. Either being funny isn't all it's cracked up to be when it comes to attracting women, or all these rich and famous comedians just so happen to be into busted bitches. No disrespect meant. I mean, can we stop with the gaslighting? Being funny and having a good personality is not getting you anywhere with women. It's just not. It is a non-factor. Any random guy off your local community college baseball team starting lineup is getting higher quality women than these rich and famous comedians. Being funny is not a viable dating strategy. Besides, like I was saying earlier, the ability to make women laugh has more to do with how good-looking you are than it has to do with how funny you are. Let Louis C.K. and Henry Cavill both have dinner with the same woman, and I promise you, she will be choosing Henry Cavill, and she'll even consider Henry Cavill to be the one with the better sense of humor. I guarantee it. Halo effect is everything. Looks are everything. A guy that looks like Clavicular, or better yet, a guy that looks like Brad Pitt or something like that, those are the guys women are talking about when they say they like guys that can make them laugh. Just being in the presence of an attractive man will have women in giggle mode. Being around those guys just puts women in a state of heightened senses. They get nervous and they feel all tingly in their bellies. They're already primed for laughter just because they're already on edge. Brad Pitt sneezes around a woman and they think it's hilarious. Look at this guy, Matt Rife. Highly successful comedian. Probably one of the comedians doing the best right now. But he's actually not funny at all. Feel free to look it up if you want and watch some clips. He's just not very funny. But he's actually successful as a comedian because of his looks. If you walked into one of his shows before it starts, not knowing what it was people were there to see, you might think it was an Ariana Grande concert or something, like a Harry Styles concert. He draws the same exact crowd, a bunch of young women. They think he's hilarious because he's attractive. The best way to improve your sense of humor and make women laugh more is to get cosmetic surgery on your face, which is precisely what Matt Rife did, allegedly. So just stop with the bullshit. It's all about looks. That's all that matters. Personality and confidence means nothing. If you found this video insightful and you want to hear more esoteric, profound, ancient knowledge just like this, please consider watching some of my other videos. There's also some secret videos you can watch for free on my Patreon. And fellas, there's a reason those videos are on Patreon instead of YouTube, okay? But it is free. You don't even have to sign up. But anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.